How's it guys, I'm blind reaction of this My Little Pony Creepypasta reading called Little Miss Rarity, My Little Pony Creepypasta Part 2. Oh yes, it is 19 minutes and 52 seconds long. Oh yes. Okay, we already listened to part 1, now we can watch part 2. Oh yes. Okay. That's the new intro. Okay, into the reaction, go.
They didn't travel far before Rarity was confronted by yet another strange sight.
Really?
Between two of the homes on the street, just visible by the light of the lanterns, was Pinkie once again. She was laying upon the ground and looked right out into the street, where her and Blue Blood were walking.
I'm Prince Blue
She
Blood!
stopped suddenly, and the doll was once again tracked away by an unseen individual. Rarity spoke up, but tried to keep her voice a whisper.
Blue Blood, stop a moment.
What? You're not planning to run off again, are you? Rarity
Oh
took careful
dear.
steps
Hello, Blue
towards
Blood.
the area Pinkie had been dragged into.
Did you see it? My doll was pulled through there.
Blue Blood looked
You're
at her
probably imagining
frightened.
something.
She was
Imagine
bothering
it,
him
Twilight.
with
I mean,
this sigh,
Fluttershy.
searching the area
Fuck,
with his
yeah.
eyes. I don't see anything. This doll obsession is quite
That's because you're
lady.
fucking blind, Blue Blood.
Even one of your standing. Don't you think you're better off leaving it behind?
Leave it
Rarity
behind?
ignored him, as he was proving no help, and carefully sneaked into
He's
the
never
alley
proved
between
any help.
She followed
He's a
along
fucking
and came
bitch.
out
Sorry.
to the other side, seeing a door shut slowly to a building in the distance. Not wanting to repeat her same mistake, Rarity carefully approached this time, no longer concerned if Blue Blood was following her. She couldn't help feeling she knew this building though.
Maybe
Handle carefully,
ship,
she walked in
but
and
maybe it's
searched
not a
the
ship.
room, surprised at what she found.
What'd she find?
I do know this building. This is the crop.
The what?
Rarity looked around in disbelief.
The crop?
She walked into the middle of the adult clothing and accessory store that was run by her friend and fellow seamstress, Velvet.
Whoa, sexy clothing. Oh yeah. Look at my sexy body.
Walking
Anyway.
inside, the door swung close behind her, and Rarity started searching anew for Pinkie. But now, there was the possibility of help.
Velvet, are you here? Are you okay?
No,
With
I'm
the sky
not.
going unnaturally dark outside, she didn't know what the condition of the other ponies in town was.
Answer me, please.
Silence.
Is it a dream,
Letting out a sigh,
Rarity? Because
peeked into the
it could be a
dressing rooms,
dream.
behind the register and under the clothing racks in search of the thief. Just like the schoolhouse, though, there was no trace of the one that had run off with her most precious doll.
When I get my hooves on the slippery snake that stole my Pinkie.
She shook her head and grumbled, heading
It's called a voodoo doll.
No
For your
sense wasting
information
time on
and
such a
Rarity, if you don't know what that is, you can search it up on
She
Google.
was about to walk out the door when she noticed something on the counter.
But you never know, that doll could be a rarity.
Receipt, dated back sometime for a large purchase of some toys and clothing. As she scanned the items, realization hit her.
What?
This is mine.
Is it?
Thank you again, Velvet. I don't know what we would have done without your help.
Rarity heaped praise upon the plum-colored unicorn with the pink mane.
Your special touch with these sorts of merchandise is exactly why I insist on coming to you.
The unicorn behind the counter blushed a bit, but smiled at getting such attention from her idol.
She wants a kiss.
No problem at all, Miss Rarity. In fact, if you need to stop by again, feel free to do so. I'm happy to help you.
Rarity gave her
Yeah,
thanks
by
with
showing your
a number
ass.
of positive remarks before finally leaving the
Sorry,
building.
it's not a clock fix. Don't. It's not a clock fix.
Well, what did I tell you, Rainbow? That mare is a talent to be recognized. She even had the necessary braces for Pegasus wings when we decided to get a little bit playful with you.
Braces?
Rainbow Dash smiled and blushed at the suggestion. Her and Rarity had sort of stumbled into this relationship between each other, and it had been quite enjoyable for the both of them.
Well, of course I knew you'd pick the best place. Nothing but the best for you.
Ship. This
Rarity
is a
gave
ship
herself
now,
a
isn't
vain
it?
toss and pride of Rainbow's words. Naturally, only the best would suit her. After she tossed her mane, though, she caught Rainbow looking at her scars.
But, when we do use all this stuff, I'd like to keep from having any sort of lasting marks on me. if it's okay. But of course, dearie. I wouldn't dream of having you sliced to pieces simply for my pleasure. That would be something.
Rainbow is reminded of the time
Rarity
when
smiled to
she was
herself,
at
thinking of
the
how Rainbow
Rainbow
should look,
Factory.
restrained, gagged, blinded, and with a knife to her lovely blue skin.
Lovely
It
blue
was
skin.
intoxicating.
I mean, I don't mind making you happy. And well, you know that this isn't really the kind of thing I could do with anyone else.
Rarity understood, to be sure. Their relationship of friends with benefits was kept private between them. Well, private between
I feel
Rarity
sorry
and
for
Rainbow
the
Dash and
piano
Rainbow.
player.
She was surprised Rainbow never complained to being filmed, but that suited Rarity just fine.
Filmed?
It's just, I like to give a lot more than receive, and I just don't think I'd want to receive that.
Even if sex was something the two enjoyed
What?
sharing a great deal, and Rarity enjoyed the enthusiasm Rainbow Dash had when punishing her. She respected Rainbow wasn't as happy on the receiving end of such pain. Still,
You want
Rarity
sex
hoped
now,
to change her
Rarity?
opinion soon, once she got her tied down.
Not another word needs to be spoken, Rainbow Dash. I'm just as gracious receiving as I am giving.
Sorry for saying
Naturally,
that.
I want you to
Hopefully I
enjoy
don't
yourself
pop a
too.
bone over this.
Rainbow
For
nodded
fuck's sake.
and smiled at Rarity, staring at her scars once again.
Have you ever thought about asking Twilight to, fix that?
Rarity blinked, wondering what she could be referring to.
What are you
And
referring
Rainbow
to?
motioned to her face.
Those scars, I mean. Why? Don't you think they give me character?
No.
Rarity posed, showing off her face with a sultry smile.
It just tells you
I mean,
are
you're
an
so
evil
pretty,
pony,
but
maybe.
I'm just surprised. I thought you'd be freaking out over something ever damaging your face.
Rarity waved her hoof in
That's what the
dismissive
real
of
Rarity
conversation.
will be like.
No, there's no need to worry. Just consider it to be an accessory to my already increasing new sense of fashion. Shall we get home and
It's
try
not
this?
excessive fashion if you scratch yourself. That's self-fucking harm.
Don't remember that.
Rarity blinked after another one of her visions of the past faded from her mind. That conversation seemed so out of place in her memory. She remembered when her and Rainbow had first experimented with each other and found that they liked it very much.
What?
Then she remembered the two of them discussing ways to take their time together to more exciting realms.
Oh my
That
gosh.
conversation
Is
about
this
her
our
own
half
face.
clock now?
She couldn't place it, but it felt too real to not have happened. Now that she thought about it, other than the sex, the rest of her memory with Rainbow Dash was fuzzy, like she couldn't concentrate on any details about it.
You scarred your brain.
Rarity looked up to the counter, and just as disturbing as ever, the camera was there, set up impossibly close on its tripod, right before her on the opposite side of the checkout counter.
I've got Rarity here
She
actually.
glared at it for a time, then looked at the receipt.
I guess I was really trying to avoid addressing the subject that day with Rainbow Dash.
Yeah.
About my scars, that is. She wanted to know why I didn't get them looked at, similar to how Sweetie Belle had asked. I had, apparently, avoided the question. I didn't want to answer.
She looked back to the camera and put the receipt in her main.
Just do the right thing and go to A&E
Truly
or
hope you
something.
haven't been spying on poor Velvet as well. She's a sweet mare, and I won't have any of my
Ah,
personal
more
demons invading
shipping.
her life.
Even though she was threatening the impossible equipment and whoever was watching on the other side, she felt empty and powerless against it.
Always watching, aren't you, you dirty little ponies? Even when
Dirty
I and Rainbow
dirty
Dash
little
were having
camera.
fun.
What about
You
dirty
were
little
raising
humans?
Such lovely mares together, were you?
She asked the camera accusingly, but the questions were sparkling ideas.
It's not the
in her
camera's
head.
fault. It's just filming you
Why was
your
Rainbow Dash so okay
sexy
with you?
body, maybe. I don't
I
know.
know why I enjoyed the camera on us. It felt good having it there. But why didn't she complain?
Rarity thought seriously.
Because someone's watching it on YouTube.
She saw it, right? She commented on it before. I know she did. I was sure she did.
She was doing a blind
She
commentary.
wasn't sure of anything anymore. Had Rainbow Dash ever said anything about the camera? Silently, she walked
I
out
don't
of the
think
store.
Rainbow.
True to form,
I can't remember Rainbow saying about
was waiting
camera.
outside just as annoyed as ever. He didn't even have a remark for her this time as she exited, simply turning towards the street and eluding his better than thou attitude.
Yeah.
Rarity did her best to continue hating him and not looking at his flank. As they walked, Rarity summoned up the courage to finally speak.
Step
She was
away
feeling
from the
afraid,
flank.
but her
Alright.
mind was oddly clear, despite the insanity around her. It was like someone had lifted a fog from her eyes that she had surrounding them these past few months.
Blue blood, I think I might be losing my mind.
The white unicorn
You've already lost
didn't
it.
stop with his progress down the street, and didn't interrupt.
I've been doing things without thinking about them. Impulses and desires appearing out of nowhere.
That's what you're known for, though.
driving me forward. I've done some things I regret. Also, as odd as it sounds, I think some pony's been watching me the entire time I've done it.
Blue blood remained silent,
Who?
and Rarity looked at the ground as they walked,
Sweetie Belle?
knowing she'd probably get harsh words in return for confessing her sins and fears. Surprisingly, Blue blood only had a question. Are they watching you now? Rarity looked,
Oh.
but he didn't turn to her.
Oh, the
So she
fucking
began to
no.
search the street, unable to find the demon camera that had somehow always found its way around her before. Her search had not been in vain, however, as she came to find the shape of another pony besides herself or Blue blood. In the window of the building directly across from Rarity was Pinkamena. The doll was standing, looking
Looks
out
like
directly
Rarity's
at
blind
Rarity
in
and
this
Blue
picture,
blood.
though.
It didn't move. It didn't speak. It just kept standing like some pony had propped it against the window. Rarity stared back, unmoving before Blue blood broke
Is a
into
hidden
silence.
camera.
If you're going to hold us up, you might as well hurry and go on it like you have already. Rarity looked to Blue blood, then back at the window, which was now vacant. She let out a sigh and proceeded inside. The door, of course, unlocked and allowing her in easily.
When's the door's
Rarity
not going
looked
to
about
unlock for her?
the room,
When
and
is
saw
the
that it
door
was
going to
a
be locked
place
for
she
her?
was very familiar with.
I really wish I was here under different circumstances.
The spa was
Yeah.
like a second home to Rarity, and she generally loved every minute
I know.
inside. But being trapped in this strange,
The spa is
sad
open?
Ponyville had taken her favorite location for relaxation and turned it into a place of dread. Rarity walked over to the window where Pinkamena had been, glancing about it for clues. She was surprised to find there actually was something to go off this time. Hoof prints in the carpet. She looked down to try and make out the size, but it was difficult.
And whose
She could,
whose fault is
however,
this?
see the indentation
Pikaminas,
against the carpet.
Sweet Bells, or
was
even
able to follow the
Rarity's?
trail.
I think it's Rarity's fault.
Proceeding slowly while looking
The
down,
imagination
Rarity
takes
checked
over or
Rarity's
something.
finest the tubs, where she often soaked herself for comfort alongside her kind-hearted friend, Fluttershy.
Yay!
What she wouldn't give to have a day like that back right now. There were 2 robes strewn about on the steps leading into the tub. Glancing around the room, Rarity eventually approached the ropes when she was sure no pony else was around to see her.
Oh, someone's
With her
watching
hoof
you,
touched the
okay?
soft fabric, she felt herself being
Damn
pulled away
fabric.
into yet another memory. She stopped fighting it and just let it come to her.
That was something else.
Fluttershy commented as the duo left the spa.
That's a bit high,
A common
actually.
sight, although much rarer now,
Yeah, that is
Rarity
high.
was holding up in her home with her new hobbies. Fluttershy had naturally taken some alarm to Rarity's outward appearance, but Rarity had managed to calm her caring friend by assuring her that she was just fine. The scars were simply physical.
You're not
It didn't harm
fine.
her in any way that would cause her problems.
An understatement, I think. I regret we never accepted sooner. They took as much care with us at the end as they did with every other step.
Fluttershy was blushing furiously, and it was very cute on her innocent face.
Ship.
After accepting the happy ending special for the first time, both mares were glowing from their tension relief. Rarity wasn't surprised, though, that so much time had been placed into making them feel good. They were good customers, and naturally beautiful mares to top it off.
Perhaps we should make it a regular part of our routine.
Yeah, by looking at someone's
I don't
pussy.
think- I mean, it was nice, but I just don't believe.
Fluttershy was stammering in embarrassment, and Rarity sat
Ah.
next to her with a friendly
Yeah.
muzzle.
There's no shame in a little bit of fun.
Have you read the
Right,
fanfics?
Shaggy?
They're
After
all
you
lesbians.
deserve it, I'd say.
Sorry,
With how
lesbian.
much money
I
you've
didn't mean
made
you.
over the years.
Sorry.
Well,
Sorry
it's
about
your
that.
money mostly, Rarity.
posh. Going to the spa wouldn't feel right without my best friend to keep me company. And with how ravishing you
Why you couldn't go with Big Mac?
Fluttershy
Take
smiled
Big
at the
Mac to the
compliment and
spa.
walked away. She was always so bashful when receiving praise for her appearance.
Oh, I'm not that special, really.
Yes, you
Don't be so
are.
modest now.
I love
You've got
you.
larger flanks than any other pony in town.
I love Fluttershy. Just
Fluttershy blinked and looked at herself, then at Rarity, the unicorn grinning mischievously at her Pegasus friend as she looked as well.
No shame in being proud of your beauty.
no.
Speaking of physical appearance, I couldn't help but notice your new addition.
Fluttershy looked down at the branded heart marks upon Rarity's chest.
Yeah.
Each scar, cut or welt that appeared on Rarity's
She's
form
doing
was
self-harm,
for a
and that
moment
is
to
dangerous.
Fluttershy. She supposed it was
It's gonna get
natural as the mare was a gifted
paranormal
caregiver
or something.
and had some medical background, with her father being a doctor, as far as Rarity understood. Still, she seemed to generally use those talents on her animals as opposed to other ponies.
Rarity, can I please look you over? I know you don't want me to, but I'm worried.
Why are you
I'm
worried?
telling you, darling, it's just fine. I've never felt better. And any little mark that should come upon me is easily fixed with a bit of magic.
Her horn glowed as if to illustrate, but that didn't deter Fluttershy.
But magic can't
Healing
bring
with
back the
magic
dead.
isn't good for you. Forcing your body to recover with magic as opposed to normal healing can lead to long-term damage. If you keep it up,
Absolutely, Fluttershy. You nailed
Her eyes
it.
were wide and pleading, and it was the kind of look that could break a heart. For being so sweet, she knew how to manipulate with her gaze effectively.
I know, darling, and it's fine.
You don't know.
You'd have seen the results if such a thing were a
Oh,
problem, right?
fuck off, sweet bells.
If I gotta look at you,
Fluttershy complained meekly, but Rarity stuck to her excuse. She didn't want Fluttershy to be bothered further, and if she ever got a look at Rarity's room right now, or her body, she may have figured out just how often Rarity was pleasing herself through her hobby, as she called it.
or if I got to see you more often, I miss you, Rarity. I miss
Oh
you
my
too.
gosh.
Those words shot right through Rarity's heart.
Ship.
Impossible for her to
Ship.
her precious Opal, her pet cat. Fluttershy loved extreme ways to it.
I know it may be too soon, but if you'd ever like to give another kitten a home,
No,
Rarity responded a bit too quickly,
Why?
but she regained her composure.
no, I'm not ready yet.
Fluttershy nodded, and the two friends nuzzled each other.
Thank you, though, Fluttershy.
always for you, Rarity.
That's a ship.
I remember that day.
Rarity said quietly as she dabbed some tears from her eyes with the bathrobe.
I went home afterwards and
How
spent
come
a
she
lot of
got?
time
How did you get black eye in the first
I
place?
tried to erase the feelings of loss with the pleasure she
It
provided
almost
me.
looks like a robot.
Oh, come on!
Sweet
She
Belle,
sighed, looking at the cloth.
that
in her
you could
hands
talk with Sweetie
and tried to
Bot.
go on.
But every so often, a memory like that would creep back, and I'd use a knife to cut it away until there were no memories, and I was just. Oh, come on! Then I'd heal myself with my magic.
Healing stuff with magic is not always a good idea.
She hugged onto the rope.
This is not Harry
as
Potter.
She recited the past events to her audience. It didn't surprise her when she looked up to see the camera looking at her.
I don't regret the pleasure. I won't regret it. It's mine to enjoy.
And is the camera actually there? Actually, is the camera actually there?
Then I'll allow myself to have it. There's no harm in enjoying yourself.
Because
It
her
sounded like
eyes
she was
look
trying to
like
convince herself
lens
everything was
actually.
okay.
Technically they
She
are
stood
lens,
by
but
her statements.
yeah.
I don't regret what I've done to myself. I just hope Fluttershy and
You
everyone
will
else
regret it.
understand. This is who I
Later
am
on.
now.
Rarity dropped the rope
Before it's
and
too
walked
late, you will
outside,
regret
having
it.
figured out how this works by now. The last two buildings had worked the same way, so why wouldn't this one? Blue Blood had not left his spot in the street from when she walked into the building.
He must be cold though.
Rarity took a moment to look back at the window that Pinkamena had been in. But of course, nothing was there.
Nothing
She
was
should have
it.
felt disappointed, but she was starting to get angry. It was like some pony was playing games with her, and these were not the kind of games she
Which
enjoyed.
ponies are playing games though? Who
keep going.
is it? Who is
Said
it?
to Blue Blood, and let him lead the way. All desire for conversation gone.
Gone. To be continued. Right. Rarity here is losing her marbles. Yeah, she's losing her mind. She's got to realise that self-harm is not the answer or something. But there's something controlling Rarity, I believe. I'm not sure how this differs from the SSM video I'm remembering to when I reacted to it last time. How's that different to that SFM video? Is the creepypasta different to that video? But she is insane. You hear me? She is. Well, I think the damage is already done, Rarity. Your friends are trying to help you, but you don't want to listen. I believe you don't want to listen by the end of the day. You always think something is right, but you don't give it a lot of thought. Like you go. It's like, do you really need to go to the spa or like every day or every week? Do you really have to go to the spa? Well, you can do it. You can do it when you go home. But you are a fashionista, aren't you? Just imagine. I don't know why I say that. Just imagine if Rainbow Dash was a fashionista and Rarity was in, like, she was the Pegasus. Okay, don't imagine it because it's all creepy. Fashionista and Rainbow Dash. No. But there's more to the story, like I said in my last reaction. There's more to the story. It's someone controlling the camera. Is Pinkie Pie Voice actually involved in this story or not? Is she the main focus, or is there something much more darker involved? But we don't know until the next reaction, and that could be anytime soon. Well, hopefully you like this reaction, and I'll see you soon. Oh, yes.